I take this opportunity to thank everyone for joining us today at the Halal in Travel Global Summit 2023, hosted by Crescent Rating. Inshallah, today's session, during this session, we will be discussing the topic of halal tourism, understanding the emerging trends and challenges for Muslim-friendly destinations. Inshallah, it's a timely needed topic. I hope you will enjoy the session, inshallah. I'm joining you from Sydney. I'm Irshad Cader, the CEO of Globothink Halal Industry Consulting Services for Australasia and the Middle East. I have been in the travel retail and hospitality industries in Australia, Southeast Asia and the Middle East for over 30 years. In addition, I'm actively involved in the global halal industry development initiatives and presented several research papers at the World Halal Summit held in Istanbul and other countries, alhamdulillah. So I'm very happy to be the moderator for this session today, inshallah. To discuss this important topic, so we have some special distinguished guests joining us from different parts of the world. Inshallah ta'ala, let me introduce our first guest to the audience. He's Brother Afdal Aliasar, who is an Islamic economy and finance practitioner, who is also an Islamic philanthropist. He is now a director of the halal industry in the National Committee for Islamic Economy and Finance of the Republic of Indonesia. He has been actively involved in several projects related to the Islamic economy in Indonesia and in other countries as well. So welcome aboard, Brother Afdal. I'm very happy to welcome you on board. And our second distinguished, Jazakallah khair. And second distinguished guest today, we have Dato, Dr. Mohmed Razip Hasan. Dato, Dr. Mohmed Razip Hasan was a former Director General of the Islamic Tourism Center, ITC, an entity of the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Malaysia. He is still active, mashallah, he's still active in developing and promoting Malaysia's Islamic economy, Islamic tourism ecosystem and Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality branding. One thing is important for me to mention, he is currently leads the OIC SMIC Working Committee on Halal Spa Standards Development. Mashallah. Welcome aboard, Doctor. And
thank you very much.
No worries. And also we have none other than our academician, Professor Mohmed Battour, who is an associate professor at Al-Sharqiya University in Sultanate of Oman. He holds BSc in Business and Accountancy degree in Egypt and also MSc in Marketing in Egypt as well. And he completed his PhD in Destination Marketing at University of Malaysia. His area of expertise includes Islamic management and halal tourism. He has been a speaker on matters of Islamic marketing and halal tourism for many conferences, mashallah. So we have a great panel of speakers, experts to discuss the topic. Once again, let me remind you the topic. Today's topic, this session's topic is halal tourism, understanding the emerging trends and challenges for Muslim-friendly destinations. So let me start the session asking the first question, input. Before I come to that, let me also give you a brief introduction about the current halal tourism industry. So MasterCard Crescent Rating Global Muslim Travel Index projects that Muslim travel arrivals will reach 140 million in 2023. That is this year, inshallah. So the projection is 140 million arrivals in total. And this will be basically to get back to the 2019 level of 160 million. This is the level of 2019, pre-COVID, 140 million arrivals in 2019. So we are expecting this level to be, inshallah, reached this year, 140 million arrivals. If it continues, inshallah, we will be able to reach 160 million 160 million arrivals by 2024. So the pre-pandemic projection of 230 million arrivals we will reach by 2026, inshallah. That means the pre-pandemic projection of 230 million arrivals we will reach by 2028 if this trend continues, inshallah, and with an estimated expenditure of 225 billion US dollars. It's a phenomenal figure. So that's the reason we have this topic today, for us to look at the trends in halal travel and tourism industry. So let me ask the first question from Brother Afdal Aliasar. What are the most significant emerging trends in halal tourism that destinations should be aware of? And how are these trends shaping the expectations and preferences of Muslim travelers? Over to you, brother.
Thank you, Brother Irshad. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I think to answer your questions, Brother Irshad, the pandemic teach us very important things about how people travel. For Indonesia case, this prepare us to ready for the emergency case when we don't have luxury to go abroad or to go to international destinations. So the very critical things, intra-Indonesia connectivity, and how we can prepare the movement of our people in the short time period and for the local destinations. So yes, the pandemic create something different. The people want to travel in the short time periods. The destinations is not too far from where they live, and then this create another sensitivity like health and what you call it, the halal hygienes requirement for the destinations. So Indonesia preparing to create a lot of destination ready with the assurance people can safely travel around our destination for tourism. So I think this is a new trend. Yeah, when people asking for the whether this hotel already certified for the health, what we call it, the certifications, and this is create awareness for the people to get better, healthy, and also for halal. So there's a new trends in Indonesia. The preparations not only for the destinations like a famous destination like Bali and other cities, but also the village. We call it desa wisata. So people come to the village, come to see the nature, come to see a lot of different things. So preparing it creates a lot of jobs, creates a lot of economy movements. So this is the new trend currently happen in Indonesia, and now because the pandemics already we have already opened the borders and others. We waiting for all our international visitors to visit Indonesia to experience the better, more hygienes, better halal service, especially for the halal tourism. Come to you.
MashaAllah. So it's a very interesting topic, Brother Afdal. If I may ask the same question from Dr. Dato, Dr. Mohmed, Razip, because of course Indonesia's initiative with regard to certification or certifying this hotel is health and safety or health and hygiene. So do you have something similar or some similar programs in Malaysia as well, Dato?
Yes, thank you, Brother Irshad, for the opportunity. Before I respond to your very basic question about the certification, I do agree with Brother Afdal about the the new trends or the emerging new trends that now more or less become blood and cell to the industry. The expectations toward quality, safety, and security, and also they look for balanced life. I think it's very important in the area of halal tourism. They want to balance between the dunya and akhirah, and they also expect that to happen, and also the respect and fairness when they travel within the country, and also when they travel outside the country. They don't want to see any discrimination. They want to see no double standard towards them. And again, talking about pricing, they also look for affordability to travel. Now with all the new airlines come up with low-cost carrier, and then that everyone can travel. This is also another area that come into picture. And originality and authenticity of travel, and again, also appreciation towards culture and arts. I think this is what mentioned by Brother Afdal just now. Talking about the certification, yes, Malaysia has introduced a Muslim-friendly accommodation recognition program since 2019, and Alhamdulillah, this program still on, and we have very good participation from different categories of hotels. From the basic accommodation up to even to the international chain. So currently, before I left the ITC, we had more than 54 hotels, different categories in this program. So I would say that the emerging trends actually will give us more motivations to work better, and I think it will shape the expectation and preferences among travelers, especially within the region itself. I think ASEAN alone, we have 250 million Muslims. I think this is a very big market, especially in Indonesia. We have a big presence, and also other parts of ASEAN. So intra-ASEAN, intra-state, and even intra-OIC countries, this can be very the pool of opportunities for the industry to grow further. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, Jazakallah khair, Dato. I mean, it's an absolute. The truth is that 250 million of the potential the travelers that we have in ASEAN, and also if you really look at the non-Muslim or non-OIC member countries, even Singapore is always on the top of the list in the world when it comes to halal travel and tourism. So Thailand is on the other hand. The UK is also getting it now. In Australia too, Tourism Australia is spending lots of resources to attract Muslim travelers to Australia as a Muslim-friendly tourism destination. So as you rightly said, the trend is growing, and inshallah we will see lots of changes coming up. Being an academician, Dr. Battour, would you like to tell us from academic perspective how much research work has been embarked on this particular area of halal tourism or Muslim-friendly tourism?
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Irshad, and also I add my voice to that to Mohmed and also Brother Afdal. I think the trend is growing, yes, as they are mentioned. Actually, the market is growing in terms of academician or even industry and practical. I have seen some trends is going up very fast, especially in terms of technology. Nowadays, I can see there are many software programmer or try to contact me to try to add some halal friendly online travel information booking platform. This now is going up. They try to develop more mobile applications to serve Muslims when they travel abroad. And also what I can see nowadays is even also some destination try to do research, how they increase Muslim-friendly travel experience, even from Western, and also as we know, of course, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Turkey also both of them or all of them, they are a leader in the market. But now I can see some other country from other Western, they try to also to enter this market, try to attract Muslim traveler as well by providing some services. This is one of the trend nowadays. And I have seen also some research is focusing nowadays about spa services in line with Islamic teachings. This one also start especially for halal spa, wellness centers are emerging, especially to offer gender segregated, modest address code, some services in line with Islamic teaching and Islamic values. All this one is now shaping the market, and of course, in addition to GATE certificate for halal food or halal hotel, they're trying to add more services in line with Islamic teaching. That means we have a high demand now for halal friendly services in some other countries try to enter the market. And as we know this trend is going up, especially for some services in addition to, of course, ASEAN country. Nowadays also we have some other country try to enter the market, and this one may give us a good indicator that the market is growing, not only in ASEAN, even also for some Western country, even Europe also as well. So this means we have a good opportunities to grow, and we have a good opportunity to increase our efforts, especially from Malaysia, from Indonesia, to continue leading this market. And inshallah, some other country will of course follow Malaysia, Indonesia, and Turkey as a benchmark and a good model for this market. This is what I can see in terms of the current trends.
Yeah, as you said, Doctor, I think it's a very valid point. There are some new services being certified. I mean, Dr. Mohmed Razip Hasan he's heading the working committee at OIC, SMIC, about spa standards, develop spa standards. And also there's another emerging sector which is coming, which is connected to Muslim-friendly destination, is the halal parks, which is also on the rise, and everybody is now looking for halal parks and how best they can accommodate Muslim travelers. Alhamdulillah. So now it all boils down to the destination and how the destinations can adopt. So if I may ask this question from Dato, Dr. Mohammed Hasan, how can destinations adopt and innovate to better cater to the growing demand of halal-friendly travel experiences? And what challenges do they need to overcome to achieve this? Inshallah.
Thank you, Brother Irshad. I think the very basic is that always the understanding of the Muslim travel market is very important before we can adapt or before we can formulate also innovate strategies and plans to cater to its growing demand. And the thinking and also the world view of the those who are running the destination management organization or NTOs must be there, because it's very different from the conventional tourism. While we can see some similarities in terms of the models, they're still using, all the scholars. I think Professor Battour can agree with me that the principle of marketing, the principle of management is still there, but now we have the opportunity to expand it to the needs and requirements of the Muslim travel market. This is almost 2 billion size of population around the world, as mentioned just now. And even though I have the opportunity to serve the National Tourism Board before, what is need to be done now is there should be a dedicated platform, or should be dedicated policy, to be dedicated blueprint for the National Tourism Board to work on. And without this, and also with all the forces coming very fast now, is not 20 kilometer per hour, but now could be 200 kilometer per hour kind of speed for halal tourism, and also it's linked to the Islamic economy, because when Islamic economy is growing in unprecedented way, it also will affect the momentum for Muslim travel, because it's well connected. Whether they are business travelers, whether they are ordinary travelers, this need to be understand. I do agree that there should be more research, should be more study, because there is also another area that we are closely connected to the values, to the fundamental values or Islamic values. They must understand what is halal, and then what, because they are, it may sound complex, but with a proper study, with a proper discussion, negotiation, and then and also this is not only limited to one organization, but you can see that it relates to the entire world, because this is for the ummah, and everything that we put on the chart must be able to be translated into action. So the destination must give very serious attention, and not only attention, but they must also be translated into tangible evidence, or tangible policies, and also to have, I would say, a dedicated budget as well, to show that whether they are serious about this market segment. That's my response at this point of time.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Mohammed Razip. Yes, of course, indeed. There are two things that I gathered from your discussion. That is, number one is creating awareness, and also allocating the right resources by the destinations in order to develop this sector. Obviously, the innovative part is always there. So how best I can do much better than the other country or other destination. So the two aspects, one is creating awareness, of course, between or amongst the industry stakeholders, and also the blueprint that you need to have to keep that one intact for us to, anyone to refer back, they can go back. That's about the awareness part. The other part is the resource allocation, so that they can put it into action, whatever they have developed. And from Brother Afdal's perspective, in Indonesia, how do you find this part? What Dr. Mohammed Hasan said.
Yes, thank you, Brother Irshad. Agree with Dr. Mohammed Hasan. The understanding of what is the halal travel, what is the halal tourism actually. So there's a basic understanding that need to have by the destination, the stakeholder in the destinations. I want to share one case in Indonesia when we do the ASEAN summit in Labuan Bajo. Labuan Bajo is Nusa Tenggara. So Labuan Bajo population is not a Muslim majority in that province. But when the MICE or the activity, when the visitors around the world come, and around the Indonesia, around the ASEAN, come to Labuan Bajo, the question to the provider for hotel, restaurants, how they can serve the Muslims travelers who come to this area. So the questions, can they provide the halal meals, halal cuisines for the visitors? Can they provide the cleans certificate, hotels or others requirement for healthy, safety and environmental friendly for the visitors? That's the basic understand. So I think how to teach the stakeholder within the destination is really, really important, and to make they understand the requirement of the visitors, of the travelers. So we preparing for that, and a lot of socializations, and yeah, this is something like also related with the business. For the restaurants, when the Muslim travel asking for the halal menu, so they try to understand, and then they try how they can serve to create the halal certified restaurants. So now it's something more common in all destinations in Indonesia, to be ready to serve for the halal tourism and halal traveling, and not only in Indonesia, but also for the international visitors who come to Indonesia.
Mashallah, it's absolutely wonderful point. And also, I noticed that the one of the creating awareness activities that tourism board in Indonesia was doing was Thousand Mosque Island. I don't know it's Lombok or any other. I mean, I saw the
Yes.
famous. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
is it Lombok?
This is also the program, the
Uh-huh.
creating the awareness, because Indonesia has a lot of heritage of the Muslims there. So this is one of our what I call a program, yeah, to give a better understanding to the visitors, because when they try to find what else the the destinations and how they can understand the cultural, the heritage of the Islam in Indonesia, so they can learn from that program and then come to the destinations.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. And I can witness. I witnessed actually a couple of years ago when I visited Halal. I mean, I think it's in Halif conference. I noticed that Indonesia selected 6 destinations, and then they wanted to promote for that particular year. So that's another way of creating awareness, destination marketing. I'm sure Professor Battour would add to this. So if I may ask this question from Professor Battour, you've been an academician, you have published a number of research papers on halal tourism. Can you share some examples of destinations that have successfully embraced halal tourism, and what lessons can be learned from their strategies and initiatives?
Actually, if I look to the map, I can say Malaysia, Malaysia, and Indonesia. I can say both of them is, and يعني I can say not one, يعني both of them in the same level at this moment. But maybe Indonesia nowadays going for some initiatives, maybe accelerate actually the trend nowadays, because they come up with. But if I take one by one, I can say Malaysia as as examples actually is potential itself as a leading of halal tourism destinations by they actually develop some standards for Muslim friendly hotels, also certification for halal food, promotion of some Muslim friendly accommodations. So Malaysia as as examples lies I can say the lesson from this is a holistic approach adapted by Malaysia, including infrastructure development, certification, partnership, sometimes even Islamic Tourism Center as a examples. This one is a good examples for developing the market, promoting the market, and also doing some research. All these are good examples of from the Malaysia point. Indonesia at the same times, I can say, has also rich Islamic heritage, diverse culture traditions, so also attract Muslim travelers. So I can say also is the lesson from Indonesia as examples actually leveraging destination unique cultural and religious heritage can be powerful drawing for Muslim traveling, offering combination of religious and cultural experience. I can say Malaysia and Indonesia, both of them are a good example. In the line also with Malaysia and Indonesia, we have another country from Europe. I can say Turkey also as a good examples. They promoting itself as also especially Istanbul and some other cities. They can offer halal certificate hotels and halal friendly dining options, easy access for some prayer facilities. And I visit some resorts in Turkey. They are good examples of applying most of Islamic teaching in this resort. The lesson actually from Turkey, I can say, they tried balancing by Muslim needs travelers and as well they tried to appealing to a broader audience, especially from Europe or some other religious. That means they have a good initiatives to balancing between Western and Muslim friendly destinations. So I can say Indonesia, Malaysia, Turkey, I can say they are very good examples leading this market nowadays.
Yeah. Thanks, Professor, because I really would like to point out one thing about Turkey is that the halal beaches, Muslim-friendly beaches, the concept which has been really strongly practiced there. You have many resorts, as you rightly mentioned, in Turkey, how they promote and also they have they try to have a balance between the Muslim travelers as well as the broader spectrum of travelers, how they can cater for both the markets. Jazakallah khair, it was very useful insight. Now let me go to the other part of our discussion, which is about technology. So we talk about virtual reality, we talk about artificial intelligence, then also we talk about tech advancement in transportation, in tourism, and also digital payment systems. There are number of topics coming in. Now we are talking about artificial intelligence in almost every aspect of it. Even G7 summit also, one of the key topics is how artificial intelligence can be a threat for our future, with the future of the world. So let me ask this question from Brother Afdal. How are digital platforms and technologies being used to support and enhance the halal travel experience? And what opportunities do they present for destinations?
Yes, thank you, Brother Irshad. So, currently, a lot of applications that used by Halal Travels in Indonesia to book the hotel, the destinations, and also the tickets. But I want to raise something really important about this technology. Uh, what whatever the applications, we need to understand the application must be linked with the daily activity of the users, of the customers, of the travelers. For examples, how many times people use the booking applications? They only use booking application when they want to travels, but look at the others application, for example, like payment or banking systems. Banking system people use every day to pay something, to buy food or to buy the services. So to linkage the digital innovation about the halal destinations, halal payments, halal restaurants, and a very good initiative from the halal tourism into this digital platform is the key. So in Indonesia, we have QR payment for the national initiative. So the QR introduced by the central bank. Now QR is the QR code is ready in all the destination in Indonesia. So the Sharia bank or the Islamic bank, they currently come with the good initiative. For example, I can show you this is the payment system. So it create a new lifestyle through this application. Create the new lifestyle. So halal not only the requirement, the certification of the destination of the hotel, but halal also the how user to be act as halal lifestyle or halal travelers. So this is the importance of the technology. I think in the future we'll create a lot of innovations to improve the halal travels in the futures.
Yeah, I think without halal digital platforms or digital technologies involvement in halal travel industry or halal travel and tourism, it's pretty hard for us to go to the next level as well. So because Generation Y now is moving to Generation Z, and then we have Generation Alpha, which is just coming out of the school in a year or two. So their lifestyle, the millennial travelers, basically they are more attached to the gadgets than the Generation X or baby boomers. Right. Let me ask a similar question, but this is from Dato, Dr. Mohammed Hasan. How can destinations effectively market and communicate their halal-friendly offerings to attract Muslim travelers? And what role do cultural sensitivity and understanding play in these efforts?
Um, Thank you, Brother Irshad. For marketing and communication purposes, a destination must first, we go back to the basic. They must first recognize and understand the potential of Muslim travelers and also its contribution. Sometimes destination, they just want to be or be part of the destination promotion, but they may not fully aware and understand about the role and also the requirements for the destination to be promoted. That is why you can see if you happen to be in all the big tourism shows around the world, you can see that different country are projecting different images about halal tourism in their respective countries. But again, when you put everything together, you can see a lot of misinformation taking place. And the reason why I said this, destination A understanding may affect the understanding of destination B, because as I said earlier, the halal tourism is not belong to a particular country, but it belongs to the whole world. And one make mistake, it will affect another one. So so we have to go back to the fundamental of marketing for halal tourism. As I said, the fundamentals still the same, but the content could be different. And why I said this, when we are talking about cultural sensitivity, in many parts of the world now, we are plural society. It's not only for Muslim, but also for our friends from different faith. They also live and travel within and so to other parts of the world. And the understanding of the complexities of these cultural sensitivities must be there. And more importantly is how do we convert that complexities into unique selling proposition. Now, in the case of Malaysia, we have different ethnic group, different cultural base. I think this is also similar for many parts of in ASEAN and also in other parts of the world. And how that we can relate this to become a better product, to become better services. Now, one halal restaurant, we can invite Muslim, also non-Muslim. And what most important, how that we project the Islamic values. Because they also see the difference. What do you mean by halal tourism? What do you mean by conventional tourism? There is no differences between both. We can have a problem there. So it's very, very important for the National Tourism Board and also for the supply chains to understand about this requirement, so that when we start right from the beginning, inshallah, we'll reap the benefit at the end of the journey. As far as marketing or promotion of destination, because this is not a small investment, I would say, because halal industry is a big investment. I want to make sure that not only for the capital gains, but also want to see that the benefit also will be enjoyed across the society and also across the industry and ecosystem as well. Thank you.
Yeah, Jazakallah khair, Doctor. Actually, what you said, things that I grabbed was, number one is, of course, the international standards, maybe unified standards, so that everyone knows what to follow. So maybe SMIC can develop standards for halal travel and tourism industry. Of course, you are part of the committee. So I'm sure that is one of the areas that we can think of, so that everyone knows what exactly it is. There's no blueprint whatsoever at the moment what to follow.
If I could just give OIC has its own standards now. They call it Smith 9. representing the Muslim, or in the case of OIC, they use halal services requirements for tourism. So this is the basic document that all member countries can enjoy, and also it is equivalent to other international quality standards. So I think now we have the benefit to work on, and it can be replicated by other countries. Thank you.
I think it's a very good a piece of information. Thanks, Doctor, for sharing with us. I'm sure those who are in the audience and who are participating in this event, this is a very important information that we have international standards set by SMIC OIC stationed in Istanbul. You all can access, of course, these reports, standards through their websites. So let me go. We are running out of time. So let me ask our Professor Battour, as the halal tourism sector continues to evolve, what skills and capabilities will be required for destinations to successfully navigate this changing landscape? So over to you. Being an academician, we like to listen to you on this aspect.
Okay, regarding the actually skills, I can say there is a pool actually for skills. Any country or any destination wants to attract Muslim travelers. Actually, he should learn from other destinations, especially for culture. I mentioned Dr. Dato, Mohmed, he said about awareness, and also Dr. Mr. Afdal. We have pool actually for skills. Number one, I suggest most of country wants to attract Muslim, they must understand Muslim culture very well. Otherwise, it might create some problems, especially from the staff. So the cultural competence, especially for religious practice, sensitivity, they must learn and teach the staff how they deal with the needs of Muslim travelers. Another one, I think also they need to understand halal certification, compliance, how they attract, how they actually get this halal standards, how they go for various sectors like food, accommodation, attraction. All these one skills must be actually found or maybe increased, especially for the Muslim-friendly sectors or halal travel sectors. Another issue it might be touch the point of Dato regarding the digital marketing or technology integration. How can we use this social media platform to especially for let's say localize the content to Arab people or some other Muslims from other country? All these one skills must be in destination must invest on these skills. Another issue we need more research. More research. How can we adapt or invest on this ongoing marketing as a good segment and big segment? So we need more research skills. How can we go for this? Another issue, especially for sensitivity, how can we engage with Muslim travelers? How can we create exceptional customer service? This is a basic, as Dr. Dato said, this is basic for marketing. How can we create memorable experience when we are dealing with Muslim travelers? So all the skills, we have actually a pool for how can we create a comprehensive halal tourism ecosystems, providing a wide range of halal friendly service experience. So how can we have to go back for in terms of social media platform? We have to use some skills to adapt to Muslim travelers. So we have a pool actually. We can pick many skills to be developed to attract or to satisfy Muslim travelers when they visit any country in terms of experience or customer experience or sensitivity or understanding the culture. All the skills, every day we can add more skills, must be developed for especially for the staff or for any other service provider for Muslim travelers.
Thank you, Doctor, for the enlightenment. So capacity building, skills development are really key factors in the development of our halal travel and tourism industry. I think we have come to an end of this insightful session. I hope the audience was enlightened with insightful information on the halal tourism industry and its emerging trends and challenges for Muslim-friendly destinations. So let me take this opportunity on behalf of Crescent Rating and the organizing committee to thank our three special guests in this session and for their valuable contributions. Brother Afdal Aliasar, Director of Halal Industry in the National Committee of Islamic Economy and Finance of the Republic of Indonesia. Dato Dr. Mohmed Razip Hasan, former Director General of Islamic Tourism Center, ITC, Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Malaysia, and also our beloved Professor Muhammad Battour from Sharqiya University from the Sultanate of Oman. At last but not the least, I thank you for joining this session. Do check out the other interesting sessions we have lined up for you today, inshallah. So thank you once again, everyone, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaykum assalam.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.